Oh, hey there. Welcome. I was just contemplating, what am I? How do I define myself? This is something that I think about quite a bit. But the most important question for you would be, who are you? How do you define yourself? What do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life? These are all important questions, of course, and I would say only a tiny fraction of people end up either pursuing their dreams or they live a life doing what they've always wanted to do. It's a real privilege to have even just the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. So, here's a little summary of what I think I am. Well, professionally, I am a mental health clinician. I am on my way to earning my LMHC, which is a licensed mental health clinician. I'm not quite there yet, but I have my master's degree. It's a step in between the master's and the LMHC, the licensure. And, you know, right along the lines of a doctor or a nurse, the essence of like the Hippocratic Oath is to, help people. Help them. What is wrong with them that I can help them with? You know, a nurse or a doctor in a hospital, it's very clear. You know, if someone comes in with a broken leg, it's pretty clear what you have to do. As a mental health clinician, it's not always as clear. Sometimes it's much more ambiguous, but the essence of the goal remains the same: help people. Anyways, this is only a tiny fraction of who I would say I am. I've got a couple of others. In science, as a scientist, I aim to be a special level of scientist, a rare level. Most scientists are, obviously extremely smart, and they, master a certain field, and they end up learning everything about the field, and sometimes it's hard to even communicate with other people outside your field about your fancy stuff. Like, I'm not an engineer or a microbiologist or anything. Something super specific like that. Anyways, there's another level of scientist called a science communicator. And these are folks that not only understand the fancy stuff of science, the theories and the math, and Latin, stuff like that. But they also are able to communicate it to the average person. A couple of my favorite science communicators that come to mind, a classic one would be Carl Sagan, the famous astronomer. And modern day, I like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think he's a little arrogant, a bit cocky, but he's a fantastic science communicator. Bill Nye the Science Guy is another science communicator. Someone who understands the science and that's able to explain it in a way that everybody can understand. Moving on, in, I guess, circles of believers, I consider myself a Christian apologist. Because I'm not just a casual believer, I extensively understand the fancy theology, and my hope is to be on the level of like a good pastor that's able to communicate the essence of the wisdom of God. Anyways, in the world of music, I consider myself a guitarist and now a pianist, and I'm not quite a singer yet, but perhaps a songwriter or a performer, an entertainer. And moving on, in the world of television, I would consider myself a newscaster or a newsman. On YouTube, it's called I call myself a podcaster now, or a content creator. Again, in healthcare, I'm not just a clinician, but I'm a counselor. I aim to be a healer, a therapist, or the old-fashioned slang word for a therapist, a shrink. In the world of audio, just audio books, I aim to do voiceovers or be a narrator. I hope to perfect my articulation and the flow and passion of the way I'm able to read and say words. I guess on the radio, you would call me a host, a radio host. I aim to be a podcast host. And anyways, I think that's enough for now. That's just a couple of things of who I am. And even though I have some significant personal challenges in my life, I feel overwhelmingly grateful that I have the opportunity right now as a disabled veteran to do anything I want. I mean, within my limits, of course, my means, but I can, I can play piano all day. I can focus on content creation. I can be a good dog parent to my fuzzy little fur babies, to my Jeff the pug and Marty the sheep who anyways, what I hope the takeaway from this video for you is, think about who you are. What do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life? Like, playing piano and writing all day and doing philosophy, and it's not something that everybody would want to do, but what is it that you want to do? Like, do you want to be a painter, or do you want to be a mountain hiker, or a carpenter, or whatever it is that you want to do? I hope that you find the inspiration and the power and the drive and the enthusiasm to go after it. Go after what it is that you want to be. Do you want a fancy degree, or do you want a better job? Do you want a better relationship? Do you want a better home? Do you want to develop a skill? Like, have you always wanted to play the harmonica or the saxophone? Or have you ever wanted to learn to juggle? Or whatever it is that you want to do. I hope that you take the time to go within and find out what it is that you want to do with your life, and you make it happen. And anyways, thank you for listening to me rant about who I think I am, and please tell me who you are in the comments. God bless you. I love you. You are loved. I hope you have a great life.